Good morning. Well, I was going to talk today about the new rules for the dual citizenship, but then I read the report on the young men losing their masculinity in today's Washington Post, and the subject did intrigue me. It intrigued me because what was reported does make sense and it has dangerous implications. According to the report, the young man of today is no longer the man, capital M. He is losing his masculinity, and that has diverse social, anthropological, psychological, and cultural dimensions. Imagine today that a young man of today has the same strength as a mom 30 years old. A young man of 17 has the same stamina, same strength as a mom who is 30 years old and she has got kids to look after. This is what the report says. And when they test the grip of the students, they found that what used to be 117 pounds had reduced to 98 pounds. So the para grip has reduced. The people who 30 years back, if would take X amount to travel Y kilometers, take 90 seconds more per every kilometer. So the speed of movement, the average walking speed, has reduced. And why so? Is it because of the rise of feminism? Is it because the women claim equality with men? No, I don't think so, because women have been claiming equality with men since times immemorial, and they have been accorded that. If women were not equal or better than men, we would have no Cleopatra and no Razia Sultana. We would have no Queen Elizabeth and no Queen Maria. We would have no Queen Nefertiti or Queen Catherine, Empress Catherine. So, the rise of feminism has nothing to do with the masculinity. There are diverse parts. One is that we have been culturally seduced into changing our modes of life. I remember when we were students, we would jump on the trees, we'll jump around and do everything, whether it was concrete or hard floor would make no difference. And today, schools are so particular about the safety that it looks as the students are caged. They are imprisoned. And when they are imprisoned, they cannot think of being a man. The concept of manliness has changed. I remember way back in our parents' time and our grandparents' time, a man used to be robust. And when I see the males from the last 30 years undergoing facials and having manicures and pedicures, shows the change of the mindset. The robust, rugged look is giving place to mannequin look. So, too much of emphasis on safety, too much of feminine approach to handsomeness, the beauty aspect being heightened, they are one. But is that the only one? No. Culturally, we have changed. A male used to have three main features. He was a builder, he was a protector, He was a fixer. A child would fight with another child and say, well, I'll talk to my brother will look after you, my father will look after you. Not today any longer. Because the single mom families do not provide a father who will look after the child. And the elder brother is too engrossed in his own work to provide any protection to the young sibling. So the first role of the male as a protector is gone. That is in the childhood. In the family, the wife doesn't need the protection any longer in most of the places because she says, okay, I can protect myself. I have a gun in my purse which I can take out and shoot. You don't need to come with me. So there has been a sliding back in the family as well. In India, that custom which you celebrated just a couple of days back, the Raksha Bandhan, the brother is a protector, that no longer holds sway because he is not involved in the personal life. This is my personal life. You are not to butt in. So the blurring of the boundaries of the relationships removed one major aspect of masculinity, that of being a protector. Second was a fixer. If you are not a fixer, if you cannot be a protector, or since you are not a protector, you can't fix the issues. I remember when I was young, 8 to 10 years old, I would clamber around my Aston, baby Aston, and would be fully immersed in that. So would the people be. Are they today? You cannot drive till you are age of 16. Good from the safety point of view. How many children today have the courage to go and start hunting? Sometimes the cultural parameters, sometimes the government parameters. We had a gun and I used my tutu at the age of 7 or 8 and killed my first partridge. Not that I'm praising hunting, but it gave you a certain feel, a certain power, a certain sense of superiority, a certain sense of being capable enough to do something. And that is being lost, and if that is being lost, the natural impact would be on masculinity. So, the male ego, or the male psyche of protector and fixing me gone. The third part was the builder. Whether you build a house, whether you build a tree house, whether you build a family, whether you build a human being. Today, a child is 10 years old and says, Papa, I can look after myself. I'll mind my own business. I can do it. It's good from one way. But the same child is not permitted then to do it because of the constraints of safety. So all the initiative goes off. So he is neither a builder, nor a protector, nor a fixer. He is living in a cocoon. And when you live in a cocoon, you lose the resilience. When you lose the resilience, you lose the robustness. And that is what is happening today. This loss of masculinity would have diverse effects, as I said earlier. It has psychological effect, that you are blurring the parameters and blurring the horizons of the activity. From one point, it is okay that you are blurring the distinction between the sexes, but the blurring the psychological aspect is not in good taste and is not acceptable for the long run of the civilization. Even if the man is to be homebound, even if the women have all the power, there would always be one aspect of masculinity and femininity. If women would be feminine and a feminine charm, if it's lost, the women would not be a woman. If a man is not having manly ruggedness and capacity to be a builder, a fixer and a protector, then he is not worth being called a man. Then come the cultural issues. Culturally, the matriarchal families and the patriarchal families, the distinction would be blurred. You see, in the old matriarchal families, despite the women ruling, the male was always there as a protector. You remember that Queen Cleopatra and Raja Sultana had anointings and the men to look after them, to carry out their commands. The Amazons were helped by their menfolk. It's a very close relationship. You cannot differentiate, and by nature, man is a bit more capable of handling the arduous task. I'm not in any way against feminism. As a matter of fact, I'm always in favor of women lib. I've always been saying that women are better capable administrators, better managers, better human beings even. But there are certain areas where definitely your identity as a man or as a woman comes up. If a man loses his masculinity and a woman loses her femininity, then what the result would be? Try to understand. So there will be change psychologically. Then there will be anthropological change. The genes would start changing and altering. The alteration of genes may change the whole human civilization and thought pattern. So this thought pattern and the physical change would impact the sociology and the anthropology of human beings. The Homo sapiens, as the way we have understood them, would change in a manner as to appear as a new breed. Quite possible that might be welcome. I'm not a soothsayer to say that that would not be acceptable. That might be a better situation. But it would be a major revolutionary break. And when the society is fractured with that break, whether for good or for the bad, it's not proper, because all progress should be a result of evolution rather than a result of being fractured. And this process will result in fracturing of the civil society. So psychologically there will be impact, aesthetically there will be impact, culturally there will be impact, and the whole thought pattern would change. Now imagine inside the situation, the people would be floundering. They would be nonplussed. They'll be puzzled. What is their role? What are they supposed to do? And with the weakening of the masculinity comes the weakening of the brain. Don't forget a sound mind in a sound body. When the body does not respond the way it is meant to respond, it would impact your brain. And your brain would start being reconditioned to the new way of thought. This cultural change would ultimately be manifest, maybe in millennium, maybe in 8 centuries or 5 centuries. But what we have seen as per this study in the last few years, this change has been a real change, and that's a dangerous sign. It's a dangerous sign from human aspect, human point of view. Let's not talk of the equality of sex. That's always welcome. But equality of sex does not mean decrease or diminishing the real capability of either the male or the female. As a matter of fact, equality of sex should aim at increasing the capability of both rather than decreasing. Augmentation is always a better thing than any division. Friends, it's high time that we start thinking. Here the political leaders would have no role to play. It starts with the family, then goes to the community, and then goes to the larger society. So in each family you have got to ensure that your children, male and female, are given the full freedom to act according to their instincts. And the instincts are always dictated by the sex. A male would act in a different manner and a female would act in a different manner. So let them work according to the instinct. Guide them for their education. Guide them for the development of the brain and the body. But let them not cripple their instinct and let them not cripple their essential male or female integrity and identity. You don't want your children and the future generations to be automatons or to be robots. You want them to be capable human beings. Think about it. Think and act about it. Start acting today in your family, lest it be too late. Thank you.